Hello, kindergarten friends from LaPorte. We are going to prepare a social skills lesson. This is the first time for me and Mr. Matt to do something like this. So we have this video, and we're going to talk through one of our next lesson that we were going to get into. But since we are not at school, we're going to do it through a video. We're talking through calming down strong feelings. We have been talking about identifying feelings, so when we watch someone's face, we can tell what they're feeling by looking at clues on their face, how their eyes look, how their mouth looks, what they're doing with their hands, if they're upset, maybe what parts of their body are having strong feelings, different things like that. Now we're going to talk about calming down from strong feelings. So we're going to get into our lesson number 14. What I want you to do, I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you to look at the picture, and then I want you to pause the video after you look at the picture and think for a minute about what the person might be feeling. And I want you to make a hypothesis. That means a really good guess about what you think they're feeling. And then after you do that, try to discuss that with either your parents or one of your brothers or sisters or something like that, and think about what's going on in the video. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you more about the story, and then we'll get into more questions for you to answer. Are you ready? I hope so. Here we go. I want you to look at this picture closely and think about what this person in the video is feeling. Make sure that you pay attention to their eyes. Pay attention to what they're doing with their head, with their hands, and see if you can tell how it's affecting their emotions. So now I want you to pause the video and take a second to think about what's going on, what this person is feeling. Okay, I'm trusting that you paused the video to think about it, and now we're going to go into explaining the story. This is a girl named Teresa, and she spilled her paint. Can you see that? There's her paint, and it's spilled, and she spilled it onto her picture. Now, when she did that, she became very upset. I'm wondering, can you pause the video and think about a time when you became very upset? What made you get upset? Did you spill paint on your picture? Maybe it was something that your brother or sister said to you or did to you. Maybe it was something that happened on the playground. Maybe it was having to do work in the classroom. What kind of things made you upset? Pause the video and think about that and discuss with someone next to you, either a parent or maybe a brother or sister around you. Okay, now we're going to get back to this. So Teresa is upset because she spilled paint on her painting. She stopped for a second and use the stop word. Literally, her word is stop. Some people say calm down. Some people say chill. They're using a stop word. She stops by using the word stop, and then she names her feeling, and she says, I'm feeling upset. And then she says where she's feeling upset. I can feel upset in my tummy, which is another word for belly. So she identifies where she's feeling it. And then she practices calming down. So the first step, I want you to pause the video again and think, what should you do if you start to feel upset? Go ahead. Okay, remember, the first step you always do when you feel upset, after you've stopped and you name your feeling, it's to go sit and take a break. And while you're in take a break, you're there not because you're being bad, but because you need to calm your upset feelings down. And so what we do when we're in take a break is we have options. We can do belly breaths. We can do counting backwards. We can do belly breaths using 5-fingered breathing by overlapping our fingers and counting. Other options are just sitting and not talking to anybody and giving yourself lots of time. After you've calmed down, then it's important to talk to somebody about what happened, so that you can know from your emotional brain to your thinking brain, what happened when I was having strong feelings and why did I have strong feelings, so that we can stop and prevent that from next time. So, one thing that we're going to practice in this video, and is if you look at the video, you can see she's starting to practice it. Can you see where her hand is at? It's on her belly. that means she's starting to practice belly breaths because she knew she got upset. So what I want you to do is put your hands on your tummy and focus your attention on your breathing. When you think about your breathing, meaning you're trying to hear in your brain the sound of your breath. And as you do it, I want you to breathe slowly. We don't want to breathe fast, because if we're breathing fast, we can get more upset. So try to breathe slowly. I'll show you. Are you ready? Here's my hand on my belly and on my heart, and I'm going to take some breaths and try to focus on it. Why don't you pause the video, and I want you to practice doing that as well. Did you guys practice? I hope so. And when you do it, make sure that you're doing breathing slowly like I was doing. Did you also notice that I had my eyes closed when I did it? I closed my eyes so I wasn't distracted about all the things that were happening around me. I closed my eyes so I could really listen to my breathing. There are going to be some scenarios I want you to maybe write down on a piece of paper or draw a picture of. So, here's a couple scenarios where people can sometimes get upset. Sometimes maybe a friend is having a hard time buttoning their shirt, and they can't get that last button through the hole, and so they're getting really mad. What could someone who is having a hard time buttoning their shirt do? Think about how the steps. First, I stop, I name my feeling, I go to take a break, and I try to calm myself down from there. And while doing so, doing some belly breathing. Maybe another scenario could be is someone called you a mean name. That really hurts our feelings and sometimes can make us really mad or really sad. Another one would be maybe you're wanting to watch the TV at home and your sister is instead watching, or your brother's watching something and you won't let you watch it. That can make you upset too. So, the biggest thing that we take away from this lesson is when we have strong feelings, we stop, we name our feeling, we take a break, and we use belly breathing to keep ourselves calm, because that belly breathing helps our brain go from our emotional brain, which is way high and really upset, to calm and in our learning brain so we can think about what happened and why we got upset. One last thing I want to share before this video is done. Take a look up here. We have our zones. Remember, red zone is that feeling that you get when you're having strong feelings. So pay attention to what zone you're in when you're having your strong feelings. Yellow zone is where you're maybe kind of upset, but not all the way to the red. Maybe the yellow zone's a tricky one because there's a lot of feelings like worried, maybe you're extra silly or too excited. Sometimes when we're doing those things, it can make our actions do things that aren't the safest. Sometimes you're in the blue zone. Maybe you're feeling sad because something happened, sick, tired, or bored. And lastly, the green zone is that's this place that we really want to be because it helps our bodies stay in our thinking brain so we can make good, safe choices. I hope that helps, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.